Hi, everybody. Greetings. Thanks for being back with us this time on Tuesday. Another hot one out there. And if you're liking the heat, got more for you to like. And if you're not, you're going to have to grin and bear it for a while longer. In fact, daytime highs have increased a steady 93 for days ahead. And also, possibly, well, some folks definitely set a new record with the day's highs. Maybe more records to fall throughout the rest of your week. We do have the heat continuing to roll right on through. Your weekend, we will back off just a bit for Saturday and Sunday. Shower chances still very minimal throughout pretty much your entire forecast period, but they are there, and I'll tell you when and where. As you know, much as you can with the weather forecast. With that said, I did have a very nice, positive story for tonight, just not ready. But there were dozens of people from the Kentucky Renaissance Main Street program here in Sagersville today for their meeting. They, quarterly, I believe, if it was. Nevertheless, they actually spent the morning and afternoon touring a lot of sites in Sagersville, many of which we use, many of which we drive by daily and don't think quite as much about, but they were all very impressed with the businesses and the sites that they saw. But more importantly, it's a reminder about what the program does and what meetings like this, when all of these minds, like minds, come together to try to beautify and encourage the growth and stability of downtown areas like Sagersville and other small and even, of course, larger cities across Kentucky. Just couldn't get in time to get that edited, so we'll have that for you tomorrow. I do have, however, a host of other headlines we'll have to talk about. A lot of new things on the calendar, of course, and much more. Donald Trump's son in the Big Sandy jail for stealing an ATV. At least that's who he claimed he was, before claiming he was also the president himself. A couple of traffic stops last night by the city police in Sagersville and KSP resulted in a couple of trafficking cases for methamphetamine and seizure of thousands of dollars in cash. And a really disturbing story out of Pikeville in eastern Kentucky. If the details, what authorities are saying, are accurate, and they're saying that thousands of stolen pills are being traded for sexual material related to juveniles on numerous occasions. And the man behind the case is said to be a youth pastor in a neighboring county, nonetheless. We'll have that in a few moments and much, much more. In accordance with the proclamation by President Trump and the U.S. flag code, both American and state flags at public office buildings are reminded to be lowered tomorrow to half staff from sunrise to sunset. Tomorrow, of course, September the 11th, in observance of Patriot Day. The President further calls upon Americans to participate in community services in honor of those our nation lost, to observe this day with appropriate ceremonies and activities, including remembrance services, and to observe a moment of silence beginning at 8:46 in the morning. I know of no organized events here in the immediate viewing area, but everyone being reminded to maybe stop and pause with a moment of silence tomorrow morning at 8:46 our time and honor the innocent victims who, of course, perished as a result of the terrorist attacks back on 2001. All individuals, businesses, organizations, and government agencies are encouraged to join in this tribute by lowering the flag, of course, in honor of those first responders, resolute members of the military, and Americans who showed extraordinary courage to save others on that fateful day. Tomorrow being, of course, Patriot Day. Governor Bevin has got a small victory in a legal battle that's still ongoing with his lieutenant governor and former running mate, as she's not been invited to, of course, join the ticket, as we've all been made aware of. This happened late yesterday afternoon as Franklin County Circuit Judge Philip Shepard denied Lieutenant Governor Janine Hampton's request to immediately reinstate her top two aides, which the governor's office fired. Shepard denied Hampton's motion for a temporary injunction seeking to reinstate her chief of staff as well as her deputy chief of staff, who were fired by Bevin without her consent earlier this year. The judge in the case saying, on this instance, Hampton failed to identify any clear statutory basis for her argument that she has inherent power to hire and fire her own staff independently of the policies and procedures put in place by the governor. I suspect we'll hear more on that case. We'll have more headlines right after a few words. Here's a little of what's new at Parkway Gun and Pawn. A big selection of hunting, bowie knives, some to use, some to collect, or both, starting as low as $14.99 a piece. Hey gamers, while they last, they just got in 2 PS4 Pro editions in perfect condition. And as new, still in the packaging, big flat screens at big discounts. A new selection of kitchen gear and appliances, and even a new in-the-box 30-gallon electric hot water heater. You never know what you're going to save on, but you're always going to save at Parkway Gun and Pawn. Whether it's game time, family time, or any kind of fun or hungry time, it's always a perfect time for the party platter from your Sagersville Lee's famous recipe. 20 crispy buffalo wings, 20 hot and spicy wings, fried pickles, cheese sticks, jalapeno poppers, mini corn dogs, jumbo breast strips, and spicy jumbo dippers. It feeds a crowd for only $34.99, and you get $3 off if you call and order one at least a day ahead. It's party time at your Sagersville Lee's. Your new IGA has fresh brewed coffees and delicious donuts made 7 days a week. Daily made breads piled high with any meat or cheese you can think of. And come and taste the salads, broccoli and cauliflower, cornbread, and their gourmet chicken salad made fresh right here. They've got fruit and vegetable and meat trays made with a little love, and celebrate anything with perfectly professionally made cakes. All fresh and ready for your next meal, party, or event. At your Sagersville IGA, where it's a new day, place, and way to shop.
Appalachian Wireless has a question for you. Would you rather pay $650 or $66 for a smartphone? If you think this answer is simple, then the Appalachian Advantage plan is for you. Pay less upfront for today's hottest smartphones, and then pay just a few dollars more every month on the monthly bill. Many smartphones are $5 a month or less after you factor in the $20 discount from the Advantage plan, compared to the contract offering. Better service, bigger savings. That's today's Appalachian Wireless. Payment agreement required. See store for details.
From brakes, exhaust, suspension, fluid changes, to expert collision and auto body, to turning your 4x4 or diesel from mild to wild, get real auto maintenance, paint, and repair at Black Smoke Performance in Dixie of Sagersville. 349-8785. Just like that, we've jumped into the spring allergy season with all the buds and blooms, tree and grass pollen, mold, and all the nasal congestion, sneezing, itchy nose and eyes and throat that they cause. Don't get caught off guard. Protect yourself daily with a quick trip to Parkway Pharmacy for over-the-counter and prescription relief. And you can always log into parkwaypharmacy.com to have your prescriptions ready when you get there. At Parkway Pharmacy. Starting tomorrow, that report that I mentioned earlier in regards to the Renaissance Main Street meeting in Sagersville this time around earlier today. We've also got local governmental meetings from the Paintsville City Council and Johnson County Fiscal Court in-house as of just a few moments ago. We'll be getting a report out on those beginning as soon as tomorrow. Tonight, though, I do have several arrests to pass along, beginning with a man who claimed he was the son of the president, who was not responsible for stealing an ATV in the Johnson County area. Police say that's not the case. They also say he actually claimed to be the president himself before being taken into custody while extremely under the influence of what they believe was crystal methamphetamine. Johnson County Sheriff's Department members received a call yesterday morning around 9:20 of a theft that had just happened. The theft of an expensive side-by-side on Johnson Branch in Hager Hill. The caller reported to police that he heard his ATV, described as a new or 2019 Polaris RZR 1000 XP, start up and take off from his home, being driven by a man that was described only as wearing blue jeans and no shirt. But that caller and owner of that ATV did tell police that he gave chase and did chase the individual in the direction of Tackett Branch off of Kentucky 825, was able to get him to stop before the subject then jumped off the ATV and fled on foot. Police showed up soon thereafter, and after a very extensive search, they found a man matching that description. He was actually inside the Callista grocery store, wearing blue jeans, no shirt, no shoes, and in the process of drinking a gallon of milk that he hadn't bought. He was sweaty, moving about uncontrollably, exhibiting all signs of being highly under the influence of crystal methamphetamine, and even claimed that Donald Trump was his dad at one point, and at another point saying that he, in fact, was the president of the United States and could not believe the Johnson County Sheriff's Department was arresting him. Authorities noted how highly intoxicated he appeared to be on methamphetamine and also found a glass pipe that had been used to smoke meth in his left front pants pocket. He had to be taken to the hospital, be medically cleared because of his level of intoxication before being jailed on theft by unlawful taking over $10,000, public intoxication of drugs, and possession of drug paraphernalia. He was identified as Caleb Zachary Rowland of Flat Gap, who is still in the Big Sandy jail. And methamphetamine continuing to dominate headlines tonight, and as they do to some degree each and every night, this time in the following two cases, both of which are related to traffic stops here last night on 460 in Magoffin County by local and state police. Both of those cases netting charges of trafficking in methamphetamine. They also seized a significant quantity of meth and cash in one of those cases. The first traffic stop was right after midnight last night on US 460. Kentucky State Police and Sagersville Police both involved in the traffic stop where a vehicle was stopped traveling east on the Mountain Parkway in the work zone. They were stopped for a simple traffic offense, but once authorities approached the vehicle, the driver, this man, 38-year-old Thomas Trimble of Denver, was acting very nervous. He wouldn't make eye contact with the police, and he and two passengers, a female in the front seat and a female in the rear seat, were asked to exit the vehicle while the female passenger in the front was seen trying to stuff something in her shirt to conceal it. The passenger in the rear told authorities that when the blue lights came on, Trimble handed the front passenger, a Cassie Ellswick, something to put in her shirt. She wasn't sure what it was, but authorities say that they recovered two clear plastic bags of crystal methamphetamine and a needle that the passenger said Trimble gave her to try to hide before authorities made the traffic stop. Trimble failed all field sobriety tests, was said to be highly under the influence, and was charged with DUI, trafficking in methamphetamine, possession of drug paraphernalia, no seatbelt, and for a rear license plate not illuminated. The second traffic stop was a couple of hours later that netted a few $1,000s in cash and a significant or large but unknown quantity of crystal methamphetamine. Officer Mike Nichols with the Sagersville Police Department made a traffic stop and then requested assistance from Dustin Thompson, a trooper from Post 9, because of the large quantity of suspected crystal methamphetamine. Police approached the front passenger, Cheyenne Taylor of Wayland, after seeing that she tried to hide a large clear plastic bag of crystal methamphetamine between her seat and the door panel. Police spoke with Marion Martin, also of Wayland, saying that he appeared to be greatly under the influence of drugs and or alcohol while behind the wheel. He refused to take any field sobriety test, and both subjects refused to talk to police any further. Authorities did find, however, in Martin's pocket $2,329, and that, along with the large quantity of crystal methamphetamine. They were both charged with trafficking in crystal methamphetamine and possession of drug paraphernalia, while Marion Wade Martin was also charged with DUI. In just a couple of moments, the latest details on two people arrested in Pike County. One, a youth pastor in Floyd County, both related to a case involving thousands of stolen pills from a pharmacy, and then those pills being traded for material involving minors in sex acts. It's a very disturbing report that we'll have the latest on in just a few seconds while we're waiting on those final few details. Here's tonight's Magoffin Farm Bureau Community Calendar. I've got a couple of new announcements tonight for some folks looking for some experience in training and a job and otherwise, all brought to you by Magoffin Farm Bureau. You're invited to a benefit show in honor of Vanessa Stapleton, a local woman who has been transported to a long-term care facility in Louisville due to severe brain damage, and her friends and family are organizing this event in her honor. This Saturday from noon until 8, they're having an auction at 6 that evening at the Literal Church at the Twin Bridges there on Mine Fork. A whole lot of entertainers, as you can see. Live music, food, baked goods, raffles, and an auction. All proceeds go to the family for traveling expense, motels, food, and the like. That's this Saturday starting at noon. And remember, if you are a parent or guardian and you want to volunteer at any McGoffin County school this school year, you have to attend a volunteer training at North McGoffin Elementary. But once again, that's good for any school. This Thursday morning at 10 at North McGoffin Elementary. This weekend is the 23rd Annual United Way Golf Scramble at the Paintsville Golf Course. This Friday, actually, Friday morning at 10. And you can have a wonderful time. It's going to be a beautiful day weather-wise. And, of course, support not just the United Way, but they support, of course, local organizations like the Senior Citizen Center, the Rescue Squad, and the Kentucky Mission Bible Training Center. A big class reunion coming up for the class of '69, celebrating 50 years of the Sagersville High School. They're going to do so this Saturday at 5 at the old Sagersville High School, which, of course, is behind the Board of Education. For myself, it's the old Sagersville. Great school. But you know, classmates, class of '69, this Saturday at 5 o'clock. And this just in. Learn more about their apprenticeships at the open house. And this is not until October the 17th. I want to remind you for a couple of days and then when it gets closer. But join the Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters and learn about their debt-free college, degree, and career paths. Don't miss the skills competitions, training center tours, and more. That is 8 a.m. till 2 o'clock on the day of October the 17th in Grayson. To RSVP, go or contact Kay Connolly at ikorccijatf.org. It's a lot to remember. I'll keep it up for a couple of nights so you can write down that email, and then I'll remind you when it gets closer, October the 17th. And the best way to remind anyone about what you have going on or about a birthday or anniversary is to tell me so I can tell everyone else, and this is how you do it. Big Sandy Healthcare and Hope Family Medical Center are proud to announce the newest addition to their staff and team of over 200 dedicated employees and medical professionals. Podiatrist Dr. Cheryl Stalder Cheney has joined Big Sandy Healthcare at the Hope Family Podiatry Center in Sagersville on Berea Boulevard, just a couple of doors up from the least famous recipe. For anything minor or serious foot or ankle related, Dr. Stalder Cheney is now accepting new patients at Hope Family Podiatry Center in Sagersville.
I'm Bill Tinker. I've spent the past 19 years defending insurance companies in car crashes, truck crashes, and slip and falls. Are you involved in a case like that? Is the insurance company giving you the runaround about your medical bills, your benefits, or your lost wages? Contact me at McFarland Tinker Law Office. With our combined experience of over 58 years, we're here ready to work for you.
Never seen what's inside the seasonal shop, you've never seen anything like it. And if you have seen what's inside the seasonal shop, you've never seen it like this. From all the styles of pillows, dishware, bedding, and wall hangings, it's full of beautiful home decor. And there are frames for anyone and any occasion. There are neat and unique ways to design and do it yourself. There are flowers too perfect to be real. And from expecting moms to newborns, toddlers, teens, and adults, the fashions and designs and jewelry are simply endless and always changing at Fraser's Prater Drugs Seasonal Shop. Getting the best deal on the best tires with the best service has never been easier. Just log on to ConleyTire.net, check out the latest rebates, sales, and promotions, pick out the tires you want, and email, call, or come by. For huge savings from the family who's been proudly serving the area for over 32 years. Conley Tire in Staffordsville, 297-2424. At Sagersville National Bank, they know your house is much more than your home. It's an investment, and for many of us, the biggest we'll ever make. And whether it's for needed repairs and maintenance, or a new addition or renovation to give you some more room and more equity, let Sagersville National Bank deal with all the financial work and worry. Real and real competitive, hometown, homegrown, home improvement loans at Sagersville National.
I'm Dr. Jason Zimmerman at Highlands ARH, the healthcare system of Appalachia.
The following man and woman were both indicted yesterday on several charges in relation to not just a theft of thousands of prescription pills from a pharmacy in Pike County, but also what those pills were traded for and to who. Here's what we do know at this hour. 2 people indicted by a Pike County grand jury, both lodged in the Pike County jail. Jacob West already out of jail on bond. Keena Reed still there, both from Pinson Fork in Pike County. After an investigation began when the Food City in that area contacted the Pike County Sheriff's Department to report stolen drugs, prescription drugs. Actually, over 5,000 prescription pills worth an estimated $9,000 or $10,000 that was taken from the Food City Pharmacy in South Williamson. So the police began the investigation into the stolen pills, and that investigation led them to arrest these 2. They actually were able to determine, they say, that Jacob West was actually giving those stolen pills to Keena Reed, but in exchange for some very disturbing items. He was said to be giving those pills or trading them to Keena Reed in exchange for videos and pictures, sexually explicit videos and pictures of herself and at least one, and it appears as though 2 juvenile females. Keena Reed, who is 27, is facing charges of human trafficking, the victim under the age of 18, unlawful transaction with a minor in the first degree, with an illegal sex act with a victim under 16, the same count with another victim under 18, possession of child pornography, and tampering with physical evidence. The exact charges West is facing at this hour I couldn't access because he had already bonded out of the Pikeville Detention Center, but we believe he too indicted on similar charges and more related to the theft, we believe, of the prescription pills from the pharmacy. As for whether or not West was the employee of the pharmacy that was taking them, that's not really listed in arrest citations that I do have. We have, however, been able to confirm that Jacob West serves in the capacity as a youth pastor at the Penny Road Community Church in Pike County. That leaves us with time to talk about your weather forecast. We are closely awaiting the official number from the Jackson Weather Service to see if we have a new record to speak of. One which will erase a long-standing record, actually 2, where we had 93 degrees on a couple of different occasions on this day throughout history. Yeah, I have not confirmed with the Jackson Weather Service, but I have every reason to believe that they, like many other folks across Kentucky, set some new records. Before today, the Jackson and the London Weather Service office both had recorded 93 degrees on 2 different years, 1983 and 2002. Before today still stood as the maximum temperature records at both locations for September the 10th. Now, I'll know this evening or in the morning as to what the Jackson Weather Service officially clocked earlier today, but a lot of folks, of course, surpassed that 93-degree high, so I'm expecting to see a new record stand by the end of today. As for records for the rest of your forecast, well, we're going to get dangerously close to a couple as we've seen daytime highs increase from 91 to 93 across the board. But first, tonight, mostly clear, calm wind, a low of 64. A really nice evening. You know, of course, it's getting darker closer to 8 o'clock. It's cooling off quicker, and it's a little cooler in those mornings with low humidity. But, man, it's warming up and spiking real quickly. It will do so again tomorrow at around 93 degrees, a low of 66, sunny. We have to include a 10% chance of showers and storms. That is after 5 o'clock tomorrow and throughout the rest of the early evening. We're talking about a few hours only, and it's only 10%. But that 93-degree temperature hangs tough. Thursday, again, 93, 67, sunny and clear. 93 and 69 on your Friday. Still sunny, but that's our second of shower chances to consider. Right now, the window looks to be after like 3 o'clock or so Saturday morning, technically. So not going to have anything to do with any football anywhere, I don't think. If we see any shower chances, it'll be late Friday night, early Saturday morning, into your Saturday, where those shower chances to the tune of about 20 to 30% will hang tough pretty much throughout the day. With that next setup, though, temperatures fall back to below the 90s into the upper 80s, mostly sunny with that chance of showers on Saturday and 88. Sunday, 89, mostly sunny and dry. Monday, 88, mostly sunny and dry and partly cloudy. The next round of shower chances next Tuesday, where we'll still be in the upper 80s, around 87 and 65, still mostly sunny, and about a 10% threat. And that's about it. But not many shower chances in your forecast, and a whole lot of heat for the next few days. That's going to wrap it up for tonight. Let me say this. Of course, last night we began a breakdown of the McGoffin County Sheriff's Department audits, several audits going back to 2014. As I showed you last night, still a lot of material to assess and basically just breaking into 2014. We're still working right now a great deal on the report to come out in this week's edition of the Sagersville Independent, which will much more summarize several or maybe all of those years of audits which were just released yesterday. There's also other parts of that report which we are doing. I suspect it will take days or maybe even longer before we get to the entirety of it. So just be sure and tune in and pick up a newspaper, and we'll have all the information we can get to you on that matter as soon as we can get it compiled and speak with those who we need to speak with. With that said, thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Hope to see you back here tomorrow night.